Hello! Welcome to episode 121 of We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
And I am Stevie Wildcard.
And every week, Stevie Wildcard and I get together and we do our best to overcome the various obstacles and issues that life throws our way, no matter how many obstacles and issues, even
if it like loads like an automatic like cannon and just keeps firing powerful bolts of issues.
Just issue after issue this year, Steven. But no matter how many issues they throw at us, we persevere. We do our best to get something done. Most recently, but we've been working on a supernatural action comedy horror comic called Deathless. And Steven, I'm proud as heck of this book. We've had a rough freaking year. But we do have a lot to celebrate. So I know it's going to be our end of the year. Like, let's do like we're going to do like a recap of our year. Ah! That's it. That was the recap. That was the whole recap. Just screaming tears. I needed more tears there. I couldn't summon them. I'm not a good enough actor yet. But yeah,
you just need Jesse to sing When Somebody Loved Me, and it's just play all the horrible moments of the year.
Yeah, man. Just why? So this episode we're gonna use it just to give like a quick recap, let people like catch up on our show a little bit, so then like when the year starts we can be like, look, this is a brand new, it's the same old show but brand new show. We're gonna move forward with the same exact thing, but we're gonna say it's a better version. We're gonna repackage the same.
We're Landfill 2, baby.
We're Landfill 2. This is a reboot. We're rebooting. No, but I want to do like a quick recap thing, and talk about what we've been through this year, what we've been through this week, and then where we're going. So Steven, it's been a freaking year. It's been a freaking year, dude. I don't even like shoot. Okay. So this whole show started with Steven and I. We've been friends since high school for forever. We're old now. We're older people. You can. I mean, you can't really. If you cut me in half like this, there'd be more rings. Like so many. But we've been trying to make comics together since high school, and it's been rough. It was hard. Making art, even as a young person with all the free time in the world, is hard. It's a commitment. It's something you have to work at. It can be fun too. We love doing it. That's why we do it. But it's freaking hard. And just for whatever reason, we were like, you know what? When we should do this? When we're adults, we should just really.
In the busiest decades of our lives,
yes,
is when we need to do this.
When we have the least amount of free time, we should do the thing that takes the most amount of free time. Like we're gonna create worlds with like moments, just little fractions of a second of every day. But we're doing our best. So here we are as adults now, still best friends, trying to make comics. We started this podcast as a way to hold ourselves accountable. For a while, I think it was doing the job and it was pretty great. And it also kind of doubled up because it got us in front of people. It got our comic book, our first book played again. It got us some attention. We ended up opening on Amazon at #1. It was people seemed to like the book. It was getting good reviews. We came out. It was successful on Kickstarter. It was a huge deal. It was awesome, and it felt really good. And then last year, it was we were on year 2 basically. And this year. So this year, we had so many issues, life issues, that it was, I'll tell you, dude, it was harder to focus on the craft stuff and focus on talking about the craft stuff on the podcast, because I was I have so much stuff going on and I don't want to be sad about anything anymore. I want to just get through it. I want to talk about things. I want to make jokes. I want to use this as a way to pick me up so I have the energy to make the book,
Absolutely.
And so I kind of fell into that trap where it was then I couldn't find a balance to get out of there, because it was it
was your cathartic, it was your therapy basically.
It's my therapy. So yeah, dude. So then I get to the point where I was I know people want to hear about the journey, and they like hearing about and that's and I have my own internal struggles with dealing with what I think how I can strike the balance, finding between entertainment and information, and letting people know what we're going through, how we're struggling through it, and also how we do it, and what we're doing and what our process is. And it can be tricky to find a balance between those things, and we've tried over the couple of years of doing this, and it's the answer is, or the truth is, there's no definitive answer for how to make this show work for everybody, you know? And like I think like, you know, life is just like that. Like not everyone's going to like me. I know that. I know that not everyone likes me. But I want everyone to like our show, Steven. I don't know what to do. Like I want everyone to love our show. And I feel like this year is really hard.
I just need to turn heel, bro. I just need to become the heel of the show. I need to be
two heels.
I need to stroll in.
Two heels. That's the
I need to Degeneration X this podcast is what I need to do. I need to start telling people to suck it and just, you know, I need to find my X-Pac and then we were good to go because I'm obviously Triple H.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously.
So I feel like I know we want to do two heels, but like it should be like two wrestlers. But I'm not gonna go that way because I think it would just be so funny if it was like there's just like a wrestler and then just like me. It's just still me, still me. You're just like it's just better. I mean, you are the wild card after all, so yes. It's just me. Like people are already not gonna like me. Not everyone's gonna like me. I'm just like a floppy, you know, weird character. I'm trying my best over here. I'm trying to be positive. I try to keep going. Steven, my life is falling apart. Yeah, it's weird, dude. It's just been weird to try to find like that balance and try to find some way to get more people and grow while also, you know, struggling through the things we have. So let's actually get into some of it, some of the things that we've been through, because I know we've been talking kind of like ambiguously, you know. So this year, Steven and I were working through trying to make issue 1 of Deathless, and while doing that, we lost one of our best friends. We lost our friend Mike, who we've also known since high school, who wrote our, recorded our theme song with us, you know. He's
on the Cry Little Sister cover. He's the screams on it.
Yeah. So, you know, yeah, he was just, you know, so we were suffering. We went through this whole like traumatic, terrible loss, and like, obviously never saw that coming, you know, like it was one of those things where it was like we were, you know, you and I personally were like hoping it would never happen, but like fearing it at the same time because of some of Mike's struggles. And like, you know, we all have our own version of that struggle, you know, and like we knew that, and we saw it, and we were like, you know, but you hope that day will never come, you know, and then it did. But here we are with this accountability podcast, with this thing, you know, where we're like, hey, every week we get together and we try to overcome our life obstacles. And yes. What bigger mountain is there to climb than the loss of someone you love, you know? So I'm just like, ooh, you know, and it made everything as hard as you'd imagine it makes things, you know? Like it was freaking.
Depression takes like the form of many faces, you know, like, I would say the most obvious one is productivity. Yeah. Like for me, like nothing is very surface level, you know, it's all hidden, I guess, or just buried, or just the way I process like grief, I guess. Dude. But I just basically discovered I was because of how unproductive I was, like, yeah, like just various like things in that avenue, like, and like who I was with my, you know, my family, and like where I was falling short in my life, you know, outside of even the things that I try to keep accountable on.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just, you know, I mean, it can't help but completely sully the palette of, you know, the paints that you're using to paint your everyday, you know, like we're trying our best to paint this portrait of, you know, this life, you know, creative, you know, career, family, and otherwise, just, you know, but it just completely changed the values of everything gets a little darker, everything's a little harder, you know. So we went through that, and dude, I mean, I'm proud of us for like being the friends that we are, and, you know, like having the friend group that, like, you know, that we have that can come together and mourn together in a way. But that was rough, man. And then like right on the heels of that, you know, like right before that, I got in a relationship. And then right after that, I was like moving in with my girlfriend, and it was like things were getting interesting, and I was like, okay, well, we're gonna do this, you know, like here we are, life moves on. I can do this, you know, here we go. And then a freaking hurricane hits, and then we have
like a record breaking hurricane, like, yeah, craziest storm surge to ever hit our area.
Yes, like absolutely
House
devastating.
is still in disarray. I still don't have
Yes.
a roof. So
Still don't have a
I
roof
mean,
on Steven's house. Steven didn't have internet for several months. Okay,
yes, I
because of
just got
this.
internet this month for perspective.
For perspective. So
So,
yeah, so it was
yeah.
like we get we get hit with this crazy storm. The storm causes all this disruption, both with our careers, with our home lives, with relationships. So all this stuff happens, and we have to suffer through that, live through not having power, not having internet, working through finding a way through it. And then I go through a breakup, and and then I have to move again, and and it's just a struggle, and it's just like close to Christmas, and here we are, like Christmas is coming, and I'm moving, and everything's up in the air.
It's pretty crazy because like really the first like 4 months of the year started off strong. Like it was all positives for Steven and Anthony. Like it was
Yeah,
just left
everything.
and right. Like Steven, I was nailing out pages. We were doing great.
Yeah,
You and her were doing great. And then May Mother's Day is when Mike passed, and that's like when the ball started rolling in the wrong direction. Like we were pushing it up that hill, and then like we like kind of slid, and it just flew down the hill and like
humbled over us, and we just head over heels, like continued to roll with it.
Because I mean, like you're saying, like with Mike especially, like that like basically absorbed May, June, and July because we didn't even bury or like have his situation until July. So or like late June. So
that was one of those issues where it was like continuously pulling on us with no real closure, and it's that kind of situation. Not that there's ever like an easy, like, well, we watched this person get buried, now we can no longer mourn. Like, no, I wish we could somehow put like end of that chapter, we did it, But at the very least, there are like experiences that you can have that can kind of make you feel better, or put some sort of like a cap on something, or like just give you some sense of emotional closure so you can say goodbye, in some way. And like I feel like that was one of those situations where it was like perpetually moving, and we never really felt it. We it almost never felt real, and it but it was always as sad as it could possibly be at the same time. It's like it's just terrible. But so then there's the breakup, and now it's Christmas, and then Christmas is just inherently stressful for I think most people. I enjoy Christmas. I'm not gonna like humbug it. Like I enjoy the season. I do my best. There were also some awesome things that happened, and we'll talk about that next. We're not gonna all just be sad, but just in general, I'm just pointing out, like, this was a year, Steven. This was a freaking rough hell of a quicksand full, like, tundra tsunami of crap year. And it was rough. I will say that we still got through it, and we mostly kicked butt. Like I will say, despite everything, Steven, we did 2 conventions this year, right?
We did 2.
Or was it 1?
3.
Was it 3? Oh my god! So we did 3 conventions this year. At least 2, but so
because we launched Deathless in March, right?
That's right. That was March,
and then we did SpaceCon in June.
Yep. Yeah.
So and then we just did another one in November. So we did 3 cons this year.
We did 3 cons this year. Okay, so we did 3 cons this year, sold a bunch of books, made a bunch of new friends. We reached 1,000 subscribers on our podcast. We finished Deathless, right? Which was obviously, thankfully, and obviously successful in Kickstarter. Printed it, published it, got the prints back. Everything's beautiful. We got a few readers on it. People seem to love the book so far, right? You packaged everything up, as far as I know.
Yep, we're about to the picture tonight.
Yep,
I'm excited.
We're about to ship off everything finally, and I hate that it's taken this long. I wish it hadn't. I wish we would have gotten it, sooner. And I feel we obviously. I hope that if you're watching this right now, you can understand why it took us a little bit longer to get this particular book out, with the loss of a friend and the hurricane and the breakup.
I'm just thinking about, even like when we were trying to get it to print, like, I didn't have internet. You just got internet back. I'm like bringing my pad to your house. We're trying to figure out how to transfer the files properly over like it was like we couldn't obviously do anything. It was
it was rough, and it was hard. But We freaking did it. We got that all done. I also, Steven, I also finished writing issue 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
You started drawing issue 2. We are, we are making strides. We are doing these things. And we also got a website this year, Stephen. We also got a website. We started, we have all these little things that I'm so thankful for, and I'm like, I want to celebrate as much as we can. It's just been hard. I just I can't stress enough that like next year needs to be the best year of my life, Stephen. Like we earned it. We earned it, Steven.
Listen, all I'm saying is I need January to be Netflix picking up Deathless for a miniseries. I need February to be like Universal Pictures be like, no. We're going to make it into a feature-length film. And then March, I want to see them fight each other in UFC 200. That's what I want. If my first 3 months don't look like that,
so I'm gonna say that pretty much covers this year. Let's just catch up real quick for this week. What did you go through this week, Steven? Because I know it was
obviously, aside from Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, absorbing the entire weekend. We always host Christmas. We have a ton of family down. I'm not going to overshare like why he had to come down suddenly, but there was basically like a family, like a somewhat of a family emergency. So Mike's brother, Jimmy, flew down from Jersey and stayed at our house from Tuesday until he left yesterday. So I got to spend a week with Mike's brother, basically Jimmy. And it was, by the way, he's James to all of you. He's only Jimmy to family. So, this is James, sorry. But it was a really awesome week, dude. Like we had such a good time. I mean, just like laughs and like talking about so many different things, and like it was just a really good time. Like he had a really good time. He loved his stay in our guest room, like so much so that he's like trying to think that this is probably going to be like a yearly tradition at least for around Christmas, because his kids live here. He lives in Jersey, but his kids like Phoenix or his children do live here. So but yeah, it was amazing, dude. And I don't know like how I want to like follow the story, but basically like we hung out, we did a bunch of awesome stuff, but then he went to his dad's house where Mike was staying before he passed away. But James went there, and dude, I have his size. I have his pool stick, which I want to give you one of the size, but I have his pool stick. I have his ashes. So like we're going to get like a 3D print of like I think Tina and I want to do a proton pack, and we're going to put it like we have like dude, yeah, I want to do like
that's such a good idea.
I think I want to get like the name patch like Curtis, and then put it like.
He literally said he wanted to be a Ghostbuster.
Yes, it's perfect, dude. Perfect. So yeah, like because it was basically just eating a hole in his dad's, like like almost like a cursed room, like that he found his son like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's kind of just left that room as is, and it's killed him to even like go in there. So like James actually went and did all this amazing stuff, and like one of the things that Tina really loved of Mike's was his James was even saying like, that was my jersey that Mikey stole from me. It was my Little League jersey because I was a husky little kid. And then Mike took it. It's a Chelsea. Remember that Chelsea jersey? He always used to wear the red one. And Tina loved that. And James got it for her and like gave it to her for Christmas. It was awesome, dude. It was just a really good thing. He did a wood burning of my Deadpool drawing for me. Like, it was just a great time. We just had a really good time. Like, waking up, having coffee together. We went to Nice Guys Pizza. We did like a bunch of awesome stuff. But yeah, so like this week has been very busy because I was hosting somebody, and plus Christmas was probably like 40 people. We cooked 32 pounds of prime ribs. So yeah. But yeah, dude. So my week was very busy, but I was still able to package everything and wrap it, and both my kids and everyone that's getting comics. So all that's packaged now. And then, page 2 has started. So I think I had a very awesome week, very productive week, even on top of all the chaos that this week was.
Oh, that's incredible. On the other hand, Steven, Atlas started his sports thing. I've talked about that in the show before. So my son, Not very athletic, not traditionally, but he wanted to go to this thing and play sports. So he wanted to, and so it's this little event. It's like 7 kids. They're all little goobers running around. They play soccer and football and like just learn the basics. Last time we went, the last week we went, there was little kids there, and they were just actively coughing as loudly as they could, just into the air, just like projectile, just like, please catch whatever I have, like into the air. I probably should have left, and I was like, but we drive half an hour to get there.
Yeah, and you're outside, so you're thinking, well, we're outside.
Yeah, so I was like, it should be okay, right? No, it wasn't. I should have left. I absolutely should have left because my son got sick, and then I was like, I can't get sick. It's Christmas, and I got sick. I got so sick, Steven. I got so sick. I had to call off work. I was like, it was just my whole face was sick. My whole body was like refusing to move or do anything.
Dude, like I see those little kids, man. Like when I go pick up my kids from daycare, like there's just this kid looking at me going, just staring at me like 5 feet away. I'm like, bruh.
Yeah. Literally like trying to just catapult their like whatever spirit into you. Just like, I want you to be possessed by this demon. And it's
like on top of coughing, I'm watching the liquid boogers hit his upper lip and then his cough catching it and just like it's like a weapon, basically. It's just
children are just
biological warfare.
So I got so sick. And I was like, I couldn't move. I didn't really want to do anything. I couldn't work on anything. I was like trying to wrap presents, and Steven, I made the mistake this year, which it was a good mistake, but I made the mistake of I started shopping early this year. I was like, I'm going to pick up little things, and I hid everything behind our We Have Issues sheet, like the big like tablecloth that I have. I hid everything behind it, and I was like, ha ha ha, it's behind this big sheet. And I kept throwing boxes back there, and I totally didn't realize how much I'd thrown behind this.
Oh man!
So I got to the point where like,
you accumulated everything.
So I had this like huge stack, and I was just like, my son's gonna have the best Christmas ever. But what that means is my sick, depressed, like sad self has to wrap all of these gifts in like one day. Like I am not in Santa mode right now, So
I messed up.
Oh, I messed up. I made a mistake. So I canceled Christmas. So like I looked for an excuse to be like, you get coal this year. You're a terrible child. I canceled Christmas.
Well, Jack Skellington came and he just ruined everything. So
I can't help it. Jack Skellington just said, he's Santa now. He's like, I'm Santa now. And I was like, yes, you are. So
he just burned all the gifts for some reason.
I gave my son one of these skulls here. I was like, here, you can have this. He said it's your gift. And he was like, I don't want that. And I was like, me neither. I know. No, but so obviously I wrapped everything. It sucked, dude. It sucked. And I finally started feeling better, but I still like now I feel better, but I just still have this like thick, like terrible excuse to never sleep again in my, I actually slept. Okay. So I was sleeping so horribly, dude. I was exhausted because I kept waking up in the middle of the night just during this sickness. I just did not sleep. I couldn't sleep at all. And
that's the worst part about it, man.
Dude, like 2 days ago, I finally was like freaking out. I was like, I need to sleep. And I changed like Christmas. So Christmas night, I changed my sheets because I got new bedding because I'm an adult, I guess I got new bedding for Christmas. I changed it. I was like, yes, this is going to help. And then it occurred to me, Steven, that I hadn't slept well since moving back, since moving out of my ex's place. I was like, I haven't slept well. I was like, I haven't slept through the night. And I assume it was just like, depression, trying to get back into different habits, like changing things, but I was like, what's going on? And then it occurred to me, dude, and I was like, what if my bed's backwards? I was like, what if my bed's like a memory foam type bed? It doesn't have an Anthony shaped hole in it, but it does have like, you can tell that there's like geography.
It's been
slept in, So I picked it up in my sick adult, like just terrible, like terribly moved it around, and I changed it, and I slept like a baby. I don't know if that's a lot.
The grooves are back, baby.
Yes, I was like, this is me. This is where I fit perfectly. It was amazing. I was so happy. But so I finally slept through the night, and then like last night, I slept through the night again. I woke up a little bit last night, but I was more about like just being warm and weird because we're in Florida, and we're not used to being cold. So then people put the heat on, then it gets too hot, and you're like, what are you doing? I don't like any of this. But I'm recovering. I'm starting to feel better. I don't sound great. I have to like sniff and like, you know, I'm coughing every once in a while, but not much. I'm in that like not sick state, you know. I just hate it.
That's what I'm starting to feel like. It's not even, I would say, like minor fatigue. I can feel all the damage that pavers have done to my arms, if that makes sense. Like every joint that I use to like lift and swing and do like is tender. Like, so like I do think I'm either sick or the cold weather is making my joints hurt a little more. And then I tell you every week, dude, I always forget to take my allergy meds on the weekend because I'm not outside as much. Yeah. And then like I'm okay. And then Monday comes, I take it, and it's like my whole head has to drain for like a day. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure if this is just my, you finally took your allergy meds, so everything is draining, you know? Because allergies really do feel like a mild cold. It's really hard to figure it out sometimes.
Yeah, dude, I go through the same thing. And that's why, I mean, I go through the I don't think I'm sick. It's just allergies all the time. Because I'm not, like, I wait until my body tells me, like, oh, no, you're dying. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'm dying. You know, and it's, I get
your body lets you know. It's like, you know you're sick when your head starts feeling really, really warm. And like when your head's so hot that your eyes can't open, you're like, oh yeah, this is definitely a fever. This is not allergies anymore.
And that's what was like one of the things that was happening to me where I was like, my eyes are so warm. I just want to go to sleep. I must be sick. Wait, no, I also didn't sleep. Which is it? Maybe I just need sleep. Am I just tired with allergies or am I sick? Are they different? Like, is there a difference? I think being very exhausted with allergies is just being sick as well.
Being sick. Well, I was also going to think like too, like a sinus infection would warm me up too. That's the thing. So we never know.
We'll never know. Oh man. So, Steven, so every week we talk about, you know, the type of stuff we want to do. But I want to talk just real quick because it's our last episode of 2022. I want to talk a little bit about the podcast in general, right? What do you think we could do to kind of strike a balance between like talking about the craft and like the artistic side of what we do and talking about the silly stuff that we like to talk about and the things that, you know, distract us and such? You know, like how do we focus? Do we have like one episode that's more serious intentionally and one episode that's just like loosey-goosey? Do we, you know, is that the way to go? Or do we do segments like I've been doing? Like, do we just like record as much as we want and then just make segments?
I think our weekly recording needs to be what it's always been, which is the truth be told, the reason why there's even like good conversation stuff most of the time is because Anthony and I like are at that age where we are just too far apart to see each other often in person, even though we're literally only like 30 minutes away. Without traffic, it's like 20. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you can get over that bridge without any traffic, then it's only 20. But we're just at that age where we're just always so busy. So like we've utilized this podcast as obviously to do a podcast, but to talk to each other basically, because neither one of us likes to talk on the phone. Nope. Most of Anthony and I's conversations are via Twitter direct message. Like that's like 90% of how we speak. So I feel like the podcast, like it's the weekly upload should probably maintain that friendship, coming back, talking to each other, lighthearted, goofy. I do think that, but I don't think it would hurt to produce more content in the week. Like what you're saying with the clip. I think clipping the games and stuff that we play in the actual episode is brilliant, but I think we can also just contribute random like
more stuff,
review, you know, horror movie reviews, and then maybe I upload me drawing something, like just more content that way people can kind of pick and choose where they follow us.
You're right. I mean, especially because I know people are interested in that. I've heard that more than once that like some people want to, you know, want to turn on the show and hear more about the writing, you know, aspect of it and like what we're going through and how we solve certain problems or how, you know, what the process is. And like some people want to tune in and figure out like how you draw things and what your process is and how that works. And I feel like when we try to incorporate that stuff into episodes too much, it just like it kind of it's hard to compartmentalize without ruining the overall tone of the episode. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like once we get into those, like into like the No, just like the nitty gritty like details of any craft stuff. It's hard to break back out of it and be like, so anyway, let's talk about this. So it's like we can either I like that idea, and I think that maybe what we should do is what you just said basically. But like you can start sending in like process like drawing stuff. I can start sending in like I'll talk about my writing and like what I'll just make I can make like log videos, like journal videos and be like, this is how I write this and this is the problem I have with this crap, and then like go through it. I think that would work.
I also think we should do quarterly music videos, like a cover or an original song. But I think we should at least try to do them quarterly, like 4 a year.
I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. I was actually gonna pitch to you that we make an album next year, like a sincere music album, like together, just like
for it.
Well, yeah, just like 5 songs, 5-6 songs, like an EP or something, Yeah, like because I'll tell you, I've been wanting to write music, but I haven't been writing as much music since Mike died, and I have a lot that I want to express, and like honestly, that's always been one of my favorite ways to do it. And it's like there are really only a few ways that I ever can express things that are like stuck in here, and it's one of them is storytelling, and I'm doing that through Deathless right now, and the other one is usually music, and I just haven't had that outlet really, and I was like I kind of want to do that next year, and we like doing covers and stuff anyway, and I need more excuses to come over and hang out with you guys anyway,
Absolutely.
So I was like it would be fun to do that if
that'd be awesome to do like an EP, like
yeah,
that'd be cool because like we just have like such like a blended genre of like flavor, like we just have so many flavors that we like now too, and like we can definitely record like a demo easily.
Yeah,
like
exactly, dude. You're getting so good at like just like crafting, but with the drums and the guitar, and like putting it all together and mixing it, and like I think we could both sing and like both like work on stuff and write things. I can and like
we can just after we get like a skeleton, we can just volunteer Mark Davis to like hit the skins for us.
Dude, not to mention, I actually I just got Atlas a digital drum set, an electric drum set.
That's awesome.
Christmas, and I can hook it up to my computer and play with it. So like after a little practice, I might be able to do something too. That would be pretty cool. But we definitely know people who would record stuff with us, But I don't know. I think that would be fun. I think that's one of those things that I'd like to do where there's like no real pressure on it, but it would also help and like get more content out there, but also like help me get through some things. That would be nice. But yeah, dude, I think that. So this coming year, we're going to stick to what works. We're gonna keep meeting every week. We're not gonna miss, an episode, just like we have been. I'm really proud of us for doing this.
Yeah.
Like, despite everything, regardless of all the drama and all the struggle that we've been through, we have not missed a single week of this freaking podcast.
Not a single week.
It's amazing.
Consistent.
Seriously,
you've covered me more so, but I've even covered you, I think, once, right? It was Tina and I did it.
Yeah, it was when I had COVID. I was like, I can't. I wanted to. I can't. I literally couldn't speak. Is why I was like, it was so bad. But I'm working on it. I'm gonna make an Anthony bot. I'm gonna make a little soundboard myself. I'm gonna.
I swear to God, if I had $1 for every time I kicked this mic stand when we're filming, like we wouldn't even need to work anymore. We would just use the money I generate from kicking the mic stand. But yes, we're gonna record this podcast every week. We're gonna work on Deathless 2.
Yep.
I would ultimately like to get 2 and 3 and then 4 started next year. I mean, that's what I would really like.
I feel like Steven, I feel like you and I together with it, like God willing, and the death don't rise or whatever, like if there are zombies next year, we can get 3 issues done in a year. Like we can. I know we can. I believe in us. I think our system is good enough now, and I think that you and I are both good enough now where we can get this done. Like we just have to get in a mode of like, once you're actually finished with a page, send it over to me, and then I'll flat it and I'll send it back to you. You know what I mean? Like and then you get to it when you can, and I'll letter it. So
yeah.
I mean, I could
absolutely. And shading this time around was much easier. And then even like when you sent me the flats, you weren't even done with the flats. You had only done 15 pages.
Yeah.
And I was able to color and shade the rest of it. I mean, that part of the process went a lot quicker.
So, dude, I think we can get 3 issues done. If not, if we only get 2, whatever. We only get 2, and we'll work on an album. We'll continue to do a podcast, and we'll release songs. We'll do, like we have a bunch of stuff we're doing. It's fine. If we get 2 issues done and launch 2 Kickstarters next year, and do like that means we're also doing conventions. That means we're also like online making new friends.
Dude, by the way, I forgot to tell you. Obviously, because James stayed here, we have access to his apartment in Jersey whenever. So he told me that first off, I don't know if it's possible, but we should try to get New York Comic Con table because we can stay with him. We're literally 20 minutes from the venue. Secondly, he said if not, there's a horror con they do in Jersey that is huge. Really? And that once again, and dude, he said anytime you guys need to come up here and do a con, just let me know. You fly you up, we can stay with him. And like seriously, he says he's 15 minutes from the city. You just get on a train, you get on this and that. So, dude, we actually have access to be able to kind of jump to another portion of the country.
We're gonna go to New Jersey together. We're gonna go to Jay and Silent Bob's secret stash, Steven.
Dude,
Steven.
That's what I'm saying.
He's going to Jay and Silent Bob's secret stash.
He's not even that far from there, he said. He said it's like a 30-40 minute drive or something. So yeah, he basically just said, like, just let me know ahead of time. But like, I don't know how hard it would be to get a table at New York Comic Con, but if we could get a table there, even if it costs money.
Steven, all we have to do, we go as Transformers, but what we do is we transform into a table, right? Like no, okay. So yeah,
we set up whether.
Well, we cosplay as magicians, right? So like in front of us, there's a little table. You also have a table. When we stand next to each other, it becomes one larger table. We put our comics on it, and we stand there and we sell our comics no matter where we are.
And then as soon as someone tries to shoo us away, we just get up and just move real quick to the next area.
We're more than
like,
okay. We're
in my opinion, like we can find the money and put it together to get a table. My concern is just getting the lottery. I don't know how that works. Yeah. Obviously, everyone wants to have a table at New York Comic Con. Yeah. So like, I don't know how that works, but
yeah,
man, that would be cool because then we would get like, I could go talk to Claudio as like a comic vendor. You know what I'm saying? Like that'd be so cool.
Yes. But okay, so next year, dude, we have a buttload of content coming out, new music, new 3 new comics, hopefully, new conventions. We're gonna do our best to stay positive and just persevere through whatever 2023 wants to throw at us, which I'm I'm trying to stay humble. I don't want to be I don't want my hubris to show and be like nothing's gonna knock me down again, ha ha ha. Like I've been my chumba has been one but enough, okay? Like I am
it's like the soundtrack of my life.
No, it's like we want to have show some humility and just be like, look, we're gonna do what we can with what we have and stay humble and do our best and be thankful, and that's what we're gonna do. But we're also gonna take over the world, Steven. We're gonna gonna do it. This is our year. No, I'm excited though. It sucks, but I do have to say that I think we're still killing it despite everything, and I'm so thankful and I'm so happy and I'm so like it's amazing. Like the fact that we're still here and we're working on what I think is the coolest comic book we've ever worked on. I think issue 2 is going to be your best work.
My Magnus my Magnus Opus. My magnum opus. My magnum opus.
There you go.
My magnum opus.
So totally.
My magnum dong. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be your best work to date, but I think you have so much more that we're gonna show, and it's gonna be incredible. I can't wait. I hope everyone will stick with us. Thank you all for giving us a great year despite everything. Thank you for sticking with us through all the hardships. Thank you for watching to the end of this episode, despite the fact that it was a little slower. We didn't do like all of our various segments. It's a little more low key and personal, and I can't really breathe and talk or anything. But we are so thankful for you. We love you. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do. If you don't want to, I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on. Why don't you love us? No, but thank you so much, Steve. Is there anything you want to say to people?
I love you. I appreciate you. And make sure you love everybody, and just make sure that you hug the ones closest to you, and you say the thing you've been meaning to say, and you do the thing that you've been meaning to do, because especially in your 30s, life just goes so fast. It's like lightning, and don't miss those opportunities in those moments.
Yeah, do what you want to do, say what you want to say, live how you want to live, play how you want to play. Steven and I are basically telling you that you need to live that Addams Family life because it's the right way to go.
It's the way to go.
It's the way to go, and I'm with him.
You need to dance, dance, dance with your hands above your head, okay? Like Wednesday said.
That's right. Absolutely. But thank you all. Thank you all for joining us. I'm Anthony.
And I am Stevie Wildcard.
Have a happy new year. We'll see you next time. Oh, I don't know, Steven. I don't know what to do with this show. I'm trying to figure it out. I feel
it's
like
still doing good. It's okay. It's all right.
It's all right.
We had a holiday lull last year too, if memory serves, and this lull isn't as bad as last year's lull. So
no, like that's why I decided to do the segment thing, because I was like, look, we always get a Christmas lull. Like the December's just rough. I was like, maybe if I break it into the segments, we'll get a bunch of views, and we've gotten like 70 to 90 views on both of the segments, and like almost 100 views on the episode. So that's that's not too bad.
It's chalking up.
Yeah, I mean, technically, it's way more views than we normally get in a week. You know?
For sure.
So,
breaking it apart might be the smart thing to do.
Yeah. So I don't know. I do want to talk about that a little bit. You're canceling the podcast. No. Is there anything that you want to talk about aside from the general?
Probably just what I did this week with Jimmy and everything like that. Yeah. But other than that, we're
good. All right.
You're sick too, huh?
Dude, I'm recovering from it, but
I think it's starting for me because today I woke up and I'm a little achy, and then I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. My voice sounds like I can go low right now, and I usually can't go this low, but now I can because my voice is doing something.
Oh man, I'll talk about it a little bit. It's been I'm recovering. I'm getting through it. It's the end of the year, dude. It's bound to happen. All right, let's start this thing. I'm just gonna keep it like this the whole show. It's fine. I wish people would comment and be like, you know what? I really like it when the camera switches back and forth, or I really like it when it's like this. And I'd be like, I will just listen to you, and I'll just I serve you now, because like no one ever says anything. So I'm like, I don't know. It's up to me. I don't like this. All right, let's start. It's 121. All right.